Good morning, I'm Maxor. Welcome back to the channel. I have a bit of an early one this morning. Had to do quite a few motorway kilometres to get myself over to a place called Gårdsjö, which is north of Stockholm, sort of northwest a bit, to this place, which is, as you know, I was hunting for both beavers and moose the other day in Estonia. Didn't find any of either, but today can pretty much guarantee I'm going to see a moose, because this is a moose zoo. So let's go check out some meese. That was just so much fun. So we saw the males who just came up to us. Like, I think they knew that food was coming, so they were quite happy to just come up and say hello. Then there was a mum and two babies who I think were 11 weeks old. They start at like 10 kilograms and grow from there. Amazing. They're really cute. Their antlers are warm and they're sort of furry, and they shed them every year in the winter. And they can be quite heavy, apparently, like 20 to 25 kilos, so I think they're quite happy to shed them. They're also really oily. They've got this like oily fur, and apparently that's to stop mosquitoes and sort of keep them waterproof and stuff. And yeah, he said it's very good for your skin. So yeah, I expect I shall look about 10 years older by tomorrow, having given a moose a stroke and then rubbed it all over me. Anyway, so yeah, that was good fun. I'm gonna now disappear off into the countryside. The riding this morning has also been fantastic. So I had a couple of motorway miles to do. I think I did about 100 kilometres this morning, most of which was motorway, but I came off at the end to do a bit of countryside, and it is beautiful out here, really nice. So I'm going to try and do a bit more of that this afternoon. I actually don't really know where I'm going either. I'm just going to sort of head west is the short answer and see where I get to. I think I might sort of head a bit more north as well and do a bit more of a sort of curving route, just so that I can be out in this wilderness a bit more, because it's really nice. So yeah, I guess I better hit the road. decided I'm going to take a small detour today, and I'm heading southwards out of here because there's a nice little nature walk, and I want to get out into countryside, have a bit of a hike, and I love a waterfall, and apparently there's a good waterfall, so I'm going to see if I can check that out. And then I'm heading west, and I've booked a little Airbnb, which is a farm in Norway, which is a country I was not expecting to visit, but I kind of figure as I'm this far along Sweden so far, I might as well dip into Norway and add another country to the list, and then head south from there to Gothenburg tomorrow. So that's the plan. So I'm going to hit the road, and yeah, I tell you what, I've been really lucky with the weather as well so far, because this is, I shouldn't talk this up, but it is beautiful blue sky. The temperature's come down a bit, so it's about, I think it's going to hit maybe 22, 23 degrees today, which is perfect motorbiking weather. So I'm really hoping it stays at about that temperature. Anything hotter and it's just too sweaty, and getting off the bike in your jeans and stuff means you either have to change, or you have to go for a walk in your motorbike jeans, and that's just quite uncomfortable. Any colder and you're a bit sort of chilly when in the wind, when you're at speed. So it's actually, it just couldn't be better. And so far I've only had a couple of days of rain, so it's looking pretty good. Anyway, let's hit the road and see what we get up to. Stopped out in the wilderness in this place called Brattfallet, which is basically a waterfall that formed after the Ice Age melted a glacier, and it basically pulled away all of the soft sediment and soft rock until it hit bedrock. And so what you've got left is this 10-meter waterfall called Brattfallet, which then tumbles down this whole canyon all the way down. There's even a bridge down at the end there. It was built in 1923 apparently, and yeah, it's like an 80-meter drop down this mountainside, and it's stunning. I need to work out why the water is red. It looks like it's sort of reddy browny colour. I'm assuming it's some sort of deposit in the higher up in the mountain. But it's stunning, it's loud, it's crashing down this canyon. I love a waterfall, and this is a good one. I have made it to Norway. I am I've just seen a deer. There is a deer in that field. I mean, this is the greatest way to start this video, because I'm about to tell you how amazing the place is that I managed to find on Airbnb. And literally, I mean, there's sheep in this field as well. So this is literally a sheep field, and apparently they're very friendly. But how mad is that? I'm assuming it's a deer and not an elk, but who knows? Isn't that amazing? Just chilling. Okay, well anyway. I did not plan that at all. Right, so I arrived. I've been riding for a couple of hours today. Had a bit of a walk out by the waterfall, which was really nice, and then thought I'm gonna head over into Norway and see if I can find a spot. So I booked this on Airbnb this morning, and it was 50 quid, and I thought it was a room. I thought it was a room in a barn, or in a farmhouse, and it turns out it's the entire farmhouse for £49 a night. Apparently it's per person, but when you see what we've got inside, I think you'll see that that's quite exceptional value. Let's go take a look. Bike is doing well, despite all of the quite hideous gravel again today. I managed to do about 20 something, I think it was 22 miles in a row on gravel today. So this is not it, luckily, but this is a cabin that they used for storing food, grains. I think it's a grain store, which is why it's on little legs to stop the mice getting at it. This dates back to the 1805, I think she said. Heidi, who is the lady that owns this place, is absolutely lovely and showed me around and just give me a bit of a tour and history and all sorts. But yeah, so this is the barn, or the farmhouse. So inside, a nice little lobby. That's me. Hello. And we've got kitchen in here. You can see that I've basically just decamped all of my clutter, but it's just so well done. There's just little trinkets in every bit of this space, which really makes you feel, I mean, I just sort of felt instantly at home, even though it feels like obviously you're going into someone else's home. She actually doesn't live here. They use this as a rented space. But yeah, so the kitchen's well kitted out, fridge, freezer, it's got an oven, very well, it's a good oven, that one as well, which is good because I'm going to do a bit of cooking later on. This is beautiful, this old, look at this. Into the downstairs bedrooms, this is the one that I'm going to be in. Sheets provided. Weird thing about Sweden and Norway is that sometimes they don't actually provide sheets, so you either have to bring your own or they charge you extra. But luckily they were included, so I just need to add them myself. I think there's a bit of storage in there. We've got these cupboards. Interestingly, the cupboards are all full of little bits and pieces as well, so they've got lots of family bits and bobs. So yeah, sitting room in here, so we've got, I mean, there's just lots of seating options. In there is a little TV and surround system for some sound if you need it. There is also a piano, which is gorgeous. And then through into here, we then have a well kitted out bathroom. So there is a bath, and I have not seen, I mean, look at that. It's a, from what I gather, one of those bubbly bath things. I don't know what you call them, but like a jacuzzi bath thing. I can't wait, because I haven't had a bath for so long. I've been having showers on the road all this time. And there is a shower as well. I have got my bits and bobs in the washing machine, which is very exciting. And do you know, I've not even been upstairs yet, but there is a nice little upstairs as well. And she said, you can sleep upstairs if you like. And who knows, I might have a look up here and then decide, actually, this is where I want to be. So look at this. That is a Husqvarna sewing machine. I did not even know that Husqvarna did sewing machines. So that is something for me to look up. I mean, you know, they're into like lawnmowers and obviously motorbikes, but what? This is cute. Little writing desk in the corner with obviously Europe. We've got, oh my word. I do not know what to say. I haven't been up here yet. I mean, if there was a group of you that don't mind camping together in one room and having a bit of a party. Oh, look at that! I mean, I'm speechless. Is that not just gorgeous? Oh, look at this. I mean, I can't. I'm just a bit taken aback at how amazing this place is. And I just want to remind you, 50 quid a night per person, which means you could have this entire space. You know, if there was, well, there's 4 beds up here, plus there's an extra one round the corner, a little cot, and then there's 2 downstairs. So maybe if there were 6 of you, you could have this whole space, or even 2 to 4. This is just an absolute no-brainer. But that isn't the best bit. So the other thing that Heidi showed me was around the garden, which is obviously you can sit and listen to the sounds of the countryside, which is basically silent. So you can hear the wind in the trees, and that's it. Nearest road is quite a way away, so you can barely hear it. And then you've got all this space as well, and I'm sure she won't mind if I show you inside one of these barns, because in this one are the chickens. Hi chickens! Mean looking rooster there. Excellent. Heidi also gave me a couple of the eggs, so I think I've got something like 6 eggs in the fridge, which is going to be amazing for tea and for a little bit of breakfast. Have a little boiled egg in the morning, which is just awesome. And she showed me in here as well, this is a kids play area for when you've got people come and stay. And I love the idea of a kids playing area just being basically a huge mound of hay with a swing. But you can absolutely imagine them having a whale of a time in here, because they apparently were jumping off the top there into this big pile of hay. And like it's just the most wholesome possible thing. But in here as well, this is where they have a little Santa's grotto. And how cute is that? Oh, my actual man ovaries exploded. Because I just thought, if you had kids and they have a Santa in there at Christmas, I mean, it's just absolutely magical. And then, of course, you've got this over here. So they apparently had a big party with 65 people here at the weekend. So hence lots of tables. They've got these outdoor barbecue units as well, so you can have grilled food and things. In here though is really cool. You'll notice that there's a bunch of blacksmith's tools. They do smithing here. So they make things like the hooks and chains on the sides of the buildings. They're all made here. I mean, they make pizzas. There's a pizza oven in the back there, which means you can roll out pizza onto a table that's specifically made for it. You've got a covered area there for your pizzas. I've also just noticed that there's an outdoor, like, hot tub doobrey. Little outdoor toilet, so you don't have to run back to the house if you're caught short. I don't even know what's in these barns, I've not looked. But then there's like little nooks for food. And then up here, a little bit more space for eating and just enjoying yourself. Oh yeah, look, more indoor seating. I mean, it's just amazing. So, I have 100% found the best value deal that you can find in Norway. Well, I think 50 quid a night. I mean, you can't go wrong. You cannot, unless I'm murdered in the night, which now I've talked it up, who knows. I think this is the single best 50 quid I have spent the entire trip. You cannot get better. I'm blown away. It's amazing. So my plan is to basically go in, make some dinner, and then chill for the night. I'm going to sit outside, I'm going to read a book, I am going to do a bit of editing, I might plot my journey for tomorrow. I might see if I can stay here another night, if I can work out the time and I'm not too far away, because that would be amazing. Speechless. Good morning. I would like to say that I had a nice evening, which I did. The evening was lovely, and I had a little walk around and took some pictures and things. I feel genuinely sad to leave this place. It's really just breathtaking in that it's been quiet and exactly what I needed. But I was a bit ill overnight, so I feel a bit rough today, and woke up in the middle of the night feeling a bit rough as well. So I'm going to try and take it a bit easy today, but I say that, but I've got 4.5 hours ish of riding that I need to do to get to Gothenburg tonight. So I've already booked an Airbnb, just that I don't have to worry about that later on. I know I just need to do the miles, so there's a few little stops along the way that are optional at this point, because I just want to get there in one piece and feel better tomorrow really. So I'm going to take it easy today. So might be a few less filmed bits, a few less bits to camera, that kind of thing, but we'll see how we go. One might be alright, might perk up by the afternoon. One thing I am also lacking is I've not had a good coffee for a couple of days, so I think I might stop and see if I can get a good, just a nice cup of coffee somewhere. But there's not much between here and Gothenburg. I could go on a big detour through Oslo, but I don't really want to do Oslo this time around. So yeah, I might just have to find a small town and grab a coffee from a cafe somewhere. But anyway, I digress. Let's hit the road and say goodbye to this place. And the sheepies, wherever they are. I have stopped just a kilometre or so inside Sweden, just off the roads of Norway, which are fantastic. So I just came down basically the route 21, which winds its way through the forests, and then 220, which is the one that goes north to south down to Sweden. Absolutely spectacular. I mean, if you like forests and water and cliff sides and sweeping turns and tight little twisty roads. It's absolutely superb. It's probably the best riding road that I've done actually ever. It's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, well worth checking out. Anyway, I've stopped because I can see one of my favourite things, which is a waterfall. I'm a big fan of basically any waterfall, but apparently, specifically, waterfalls to do with certain creatures. My favourite waterfall over in Canada when we were there last year was somewhere called Elgåfossen, and it turns out this one is called Elgåfossen, or Elgåfossen, sorry, which actually means Moose Falls. And there it is. I'm at the top of it because I've parked on the mountainside, and you can see it tumbling over the mountain there, downwards into the ravine, which just continues. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, all the way down. And I'm going to have a little wander around and see what it's like from the other side. But oh, I love a waterfall. Annoyingly, I have a problem with the drone, so I was hoping that I'd be able to get the drone out, and I have brought it with me just in case, so I can at least see if I can get it working. But the problem I have is, it's on landing yesterday, I think it just took a bit of damage when it landed, and a couple of the propellers are chipped, and because of that it's now got a vibration. So I think it's called a harmonic resonance, which is where the camera has this sort of rippling effect, because the propellers aren't quite able to keep the thing completely straight and steady, which means it's now moving slightly backwards rather than hovering in place, and you get this rippling effect. So I need to have a play and see if I can get some new propellers for it. Annoyingly, that's the one thing I forgot to pack with me, is spare propellers, so I need to go and find some. But luckily I'm in Gothenburg later, so they might have a shopping centre that I can have a look at. If not, then Malmo will probably have something, so we'll see what we can find. Good morning from Gothenburg. So I've just had a nice breakfast in this cafe in the background. Very nice. It was a mozzarella and pesto toasty thing. It is getting on already. It's about 11 o'clock now, and I have about 200 miles to cover, and I don't want to do it all in one blast, so I want to get down to Malmo over the course of the day. I was going to hang around and visit an aeronautical museum today, but I just can't make the time work really, because I don't want to be under pressure to get to Malmo for today. But one thing I have done is I've booked the accommodation for 2 nights, so I'm actually going to be spending Malmo, or the day in Malmo tomorrow, without having to ride, which is nice. The other thing is, there's a few spots along the way that I could stop at if I wanted to. I'm going to try and take a few country roads rather than doing the motorways. I think on the motorways it would take me maybe 2.5, 3 hours. By the country roads it could take me 5.5. So I want to do a bit of both. That's the plan today. But the other thing that I want to do at some point, because the bike is looking incredibly dirty, is to give it a bit of a clean. I mean, look at this screen, it's just gross. So I need to ideally give it a bit of a clean. I think this might be one of the hardest things about owning this bike, is getting it on the bloody centre stand, which I've never been able to do with any consistency. It's just a nightmare. And I think there's a knack to it, so you kind of put your foot and you push down while lifting up at the back. Helps if you're not being attacked by a bee. Oh, nearly there. Come on, come on.
A few moments later. 11 minutes later.
Right, here we go. Should we do this again? So, I've got to push down. Oh. Come on.
3 hours later.
This is all quite heavy. See, it's nothing to do with the weight, I don't think.
4 to 6 days later.
That would be quite good. Do you know, it's a technique thing, not a weight thing, but...
It's only a technique, but I'm not so good at it. I own a Harley, so I only use the side.
Okay. I think we just have to lift the back as I push down.
Yeah.
Right, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ah, there we go.
Perfect.
Perfect. Thank you very much, man. Cheers, you too. See, that's really all you need. Is you just need a man to see you struggling and then choose to help you out. What a lovely man. He's got a Harley. So. Whew. Well, I've made it to Malmo. I'm quite exhausted. It's been a long day of riding and yeah, I'm pretty tired. So I'm quite looking forward to not really doing much from here. I'm going to have a shower, get myself changed and then hit the town and get ready for a pretty epic meal tonight. This is an interesting thing. So coming into Malmo, I realised that motorbikes here are treated basically the same as cars. Slightly different to Stockholm, where they do have motorcycle parking bays that you can find, which are basically much cheaper for bikes to use. They're designed for bikes. Here, they basically brought in a rule across Malmo that says that bikes are now treated the same as cars, which is rubbish because you take up far less space, you are you're less disruptive to traffic and all that kind of stuff, and yet you're paying the same amount for parking that you do for a car that takes up, 4 to 8 times the amount of space that you do. So yeah, that's a bit shit. And I had a little look around, couldn't find anything nearby that would work for the bike. The hotel actually does have an underground car park, but they also charge the same for a car because it's basically you're taking up a space, which is a bit annoying. So I've had to pay £42 for 2 days worth of parking the bike. I did save a bit of money on the hotel, so it is coming in at about 65 quid a night. So it's basically 85 with the bike parking. And it is secure, so at least it's underground and no one's going to nick it while it's here and all that kind of stuff, which is something I'm always a little bit nervous about in big cities, is leaving the bike out in public so that someone could come along and just, an opportunist could nick it. Much less likely to happen if it's in a secure underground parking. So actually I don't mind too much, but still it stings a little bit, doesn't it? Anyway, very, very basic accommodation. I'm in somewhere called Theatre Hotelet, which I assume is theatre hotel. That's me on a wonky mirror. Yeah, very basic digs here. So it's a single room, so literally desk and single bed, already made, which is nice. The towels are available. And then we've got very basic shower over bath and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it is what it is. That's what you get for being in a big city, really, is your money does not go as far. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, and because I imagine this video is already going to be quite long. Anyway, thanks for following along. I think we're up to like nearly 80 subscribers now. It would just be awesome to hit 100 before I finish up the trip. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It'd be really nice to have you along. And thank you so much to everybody for subscribing and watching and liking and commenting and stuff. It's so nice to have all you there behind me and all that stuff and watching and seeing what I'm up to. And hopefully it's inspiring you to have your own adventures as well. While the world is still accessible to us, we should all be out there, I think. So If this just gives you a little bit of inspiration, then great. So yeah, thanks for watching. I will see you in the next one. Cheers.